video games are for nerds. But that doesn't mean we can't talk about them. That's why you're listening to The Week in Gaming, the only gaming podcast that breaks down the last 7 days and tears games apart from the inside. Ugh. So forget your worries, open your ears, and join Simon Miller and a co-host for the entertainment chatter you need. Also, screw Dark Souls.
Hello and welcome to The Week in Gaming with me, Simon Miller, a podcast that is indeed about video games. If you couldn't work that out from the title, but I like to create a nice welcoming atmosphere, as I always say at the start of these episodes. Before we do begin, I'd like to remind everyone that yes, The Week in Gaming is made possible thanks to patreon.com/Simon316, and you can head on over there now and give me $1 should you so wish, and it allows me to produce content just like this. I'm as always joined by my man Sam. Sam, how you doing today?
Yeah, doing very well.
Good. Are you enjoying the madness of video games this week?
Yeah, I'm loving it. It's always the best.
Good, I'm glad, because we're going to talk about something from 2 years ago. Because we are going to get into it. I know it's called The Week in Gaming. We are going to talk, and there is a lot to throw ourselves into. But Sam said some magical words to me before we began, which was that he's put a lot of time into Breath of the Wild. Obviously, The Zelda game that launched with the Switch, meant to come out on Wii U, but never did. I've made my thoughts known about this before, and I will make them known again. The headline to me, as I think we've talked about between ourselves in the past, I think Breath of the Wild is a fantastic video game. It's just a video game I would rather not have the Zelda license, because I was such an old-fashioned moron when it came to... that admittedly overly done Zelda formula. Let's not pretend otherwise. It was overly done. Get boomerang. Enter dungeon, get boomerang, use boomerang to kill boss. Then 9 times out of 10, you said boomerang to get in next dungeon, get new weapon, so on and so forth. I loved it, and I could have played it for the rest of my life. Hence why when Link Between Worlds came out on the Nintendo 3DS, I was like, brilliant. It's like all my favourite things wrapped up into one. And if nothing, I said I wouldn't go on this far, but I will, just to end my little rant. I just didn't want to see survival mechanics in Zelda. I just didn't want to do it. It's my biggest worry about Red Dead as well, another franchise that I love. However, Sam, you've come back to it now. Obviously, there's a reason you started playing it. Where are you at? What kind of Zelda fan were you before all this? What side of the fence do you fall down on?
Well, it was sort of an accident that I started it, because I'm currently playing through Ni no Kuni, as you know. But then I was meant to get something for my Switch, and then, I had some hours to kill. So I was like, okay, I'll start Breath of the Wild again. And I guess this sort of spoils what I think of it, because it sort of had me hooked. I was just sort of planning on just diving into it, like, is it all right, whatever. And then now I'm playing it a lot. So yeah, it's very, very good. It's very Moorish, I find, because the world is like, in The Witcher 3 or something like that. Not The Witcher 3 is bad, but it's like, you can't dip into it really, because the world is so like complex. There's so much to it. There's so much to remember. Whereas with Breath of the Wild, you can sort of go into a shrine, which is pretty much just a puzzle, or go to a tower, and it's just simple to learn but hard to master.
Yep, I agree.
So go on.
No, I agree. I said I agree with it.
Yeah. It's I've got a few niggles. Not that I think they're bad features, but it's kind of annoying that the weapons degrade so quickly. I haven't played a lot of games with weapon degradation, but this is just like, you use it to hit one enemy, and it's like, it's broken.
It's so true.
Yeah, and they don't explain cooking at all, so I had to look that up. So there's a lot of things that are just like...
But that's the game in general, right? There is no handhelding whatsoever. It's all, okay, you're in a world, go figure it out. If you can, great. If not, tough luck.
Yeah, like when you're on that plateau, you get the basic, like, here are your powers, your the bomb and the magnesis and stuff, and then it's like, okay, here's the whole world, bye. And it's like,
yeah, and then you got to go figure it out. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, which is really good, and the fact that it runs and looks so good on the Switch is just crazy to me. In terms of where I was at with Zelda before this franchise, I don't have much of a place for it in my heart. I played Ocarina of Time, and I can't stand Majora's Mask. And I don't. I respect Majora's Mask, but the more I thought about it growing up, because as a kid I thought I loved it, but the more I thought about it growing up, it's just not my game. It's just not. It's too finicky. It's too oddly layered. It's a great game, it is, but just the way it's structured is just not for me. Yeah, absolutely.
So I totally agree with that.
Yeah, I had no investment in it in terms of like, oh, I have to go in and play it. I'm just like, well, I'll play it. I've heard a lot of good things. Obviously, it's hard to know about those good things. Not that I'm throwing shade at Nintendo fans, but everything that Nintendo puts out is sort of good.
No, honestly, but I get that too. Sorry, I don't interrupt, but I get that too because I am one of those Nintendo fans mostly. But there are a few franchises, and this is my worry. Like Splatoon, go fuck itself. Animal Crossing, go fuck itself. They're good video games. Like I'm being facetious and obviously, winding people up on purpose. They are good franchises. But other than that, Nintendo can do most things. I'm like brilliant, which is why I kind of worried the side that I don't like about Nintendo leaked into my Zelda. Again, Breath of the Wild is a great game, but it's not the Zelda game that I want.
Yeah.
I say I throw my toys out the pram like an expectant asshole. Where's my Zelda game? I'm entitled.
Yeah, it's I like what they've done with it, and the survival elements aren't like if there was a hunger bar, I would not be playing this game because that really annoys me. But the survival elements are there in a sense that it complements what's there, I think, rather than just being like something like The Sims or Minecraft where you just sort of had to tick a checklist to make sure these bars stay up. And I really like that you could sort of experiment with the food and the crafting, things like that. It's really cool just to have all of these options for you. But it would be a little bit nicer to have because I feel like I can't trust any of my shields or weapons. Yeah. Whereas like in most RPGs, you sort of have this like, oh, I found this really good weapon and I'll use this for 4 hours until I get a slightly better one or something. Whereas this, you've really got to think carefully about what you're using. And I don't really use any of my powerful weapons because I'm too afraid that I'll need them for a boss fight in the next minute or so. But yeah, no, it's a fantastic video game, and it's just so Moorish. Like I find myself jumping in for a shrine or to get a tower or like just to do something. And I've not got very deep into the story because it's very easy to get distracted. I'm just like, okay, I'll go here, and then I discover 4 shrines, and then mark loads of things with my iPad, and then it's crazy.
I mean, you mentioned the cooking, and it's just all that kind of stuff. I don't mind. Oh, you've got to wear this particular suit because the environment here is X and you need Y. I'm fine with that. Like Zelda's always done that. I remember people pimping that out like it was brand new. I was like, man, I was doing that in Link to the Past. I don't know what world you're living in, but I don't know. I'm with you. Like the survival mechanics to me are even too much. So if they had gone even further than that, I don't think I would have been able to invest it. But I do respect in what it did. I do respect the fact that it doesn't, hold your hand. I do respect the fact that you have to go out there and kind of figure these things out. It's a very modern video game in that sense, but it's not necessarily something I particularly enjoy. Like, how long have you been playing it for, sort of total?
Sort of about 5 hours, probably.
All right, so I mean, you really have just touched the surface because that game is ridiculously big.
Yeah, exactly.
But even then, after 5 hours, I mean, do you have? I know you said it was Moorish, but do you have the inclination to continue? Because after sort of 3-4 hours, I was like, I just don't want to. I just don't want to play it anymore. If I'm completely honest, that's the truth.
Absolutely.
This is not for me. I just knew.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be playing more of this. I won't sink, it's not one of these games that I'm going to sink hours into because I'm sort of balancing Ni no Kuni and Breath of the Wild at the same time because I'm a lunatic. So yeah, I'll sort of be balancing them finally. And sort of because it's on the Switch, I can obviously play it on the go and stuff. And another thing that sort of I'm having a little bit of a problem is I don't get it, but everything is killing me in one hit. I know you need to invest in those hearts, that shrine or whatever, but everything is giving me like 5 heart wallops all the time, and I'm just like, because there's no guiding on where you should and should not go, I'm just like, should I explore because I'm getting battered? But then I'm on the main path and I'm like, I'm still getting battered, unless it's one of those games where you're not meant to get hit and you're sort of meant to rely on your shield that much more. But yeah, either way, it's really got me hooked, and I don't think that's going to go because I'm still doing the same rinse and repeat shrine, towers, main quest formula, and I'm not bored of it for 5 hours. So yeah,
maybe bored is not the right word. I certainly wasn't bored, and again, I really did appreciate how open it was. I just didn't want to play it after a while. Yeah, it just didn't click, and that was so weird for me. Zelda's my favorite franchise. Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time, Link Between Worlds, Link to the Past, Minish Cap. I like them all. There's not one Zelda game. I even got a stupid Panasonic 3DO, what the hell it was called, to play those. I mean, they are shite, those ones. But I thought to myself, I need my own opinion on it. This was years ago. So it's just strange to me to get to a place with a game that is, this sounds stupid, but I mean, it's objectively a good game, but it's just not one that, again, it worked for me, and that was a very strange disconnect. And loads of people got mad at me as always, but what can you do? But yeah, I
guess from like a mechanic standpoint, though, it isn't a Zelda game. It's only a Zelda game in terms of the characters, which is a different thing because, like you said, Zelda games mechanically have been in this formula for years, and now it's deviated. It doesn't feel like a Zelda game anymore.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's an evolution, right? And it's just, of course, that has to happen with every video game.
Yeah.
Apart from Mario, apparently, which somehow manages to stay the same regardless. But I guess they kind of introduced new mechanic. I mean, going to 3D is a huge... Anyway, that's off track. But yeah, you're right. It's more a Zelda game in name than anything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I certainly... It's weird for me to sort of... Because most games I hate, and I'll be vitriolic about it, and I'll go around and shout, and facetiously, but I'll do it anyway. But this one, again, with a franchise that I love so much, it was kind of annoying to me. I knew it wasn't a passing thing as well. I played sort of around the same time as you, maybe a bit less, and I just sold it. I just knew. Do you know what I mean? I just knew. I don't need this. I'm not going to play it. It's not for me. Actually, I didn't sell it. I gave it to a friend of mine's kid because I thought he'd appreciate it more, and he did. He loved it. But I didn't want to sink 20 hours plus into that world, even though I appreciated the world and what it did. Very strange game.
I don't think it would have been 20 hours. I think it would have been 50.
Well, exactly. That's the thing. So it's very weird, that game, for me. It's just why I was intrigued to see what you thought about it. It's odd because you have picked up on a lot of the things that put me off. But clearly, although you can kind of, think, well, I'm not so sure, it certainly hasn't scared you away like it did me. Maybe I just like simplicity. I just like simplicity nowadays. Maybe that's why I like them. It was so simple. So simple, so wonderful, so lovely. So maybe that's what I missed. I don't know. But yeah, it's certainly kind of the right word. I understand why it got the love that it did. Like, I'm not surprised that it won Game of the Year awards and did all of this. It's like, of course it did. It was, it was a special game. Well, keep me updated every week to week. Let me know how you get on with it and how far you progress.
Sure, there might be next week. I'll be like, this is the worst game
well,
ever.
You never. I mean, you may be right. I mean, I don't think you will from what you've said, but it is a test at times. All that survivors, like you said, the weapons especially are not fun, I don't think. But
no.
Hey,
I'm not like, oh, woo, I have to pick up 4 new weapons now. And I'm not like, yeah, weapon degradation. I don't think anyone is like, weapon degradation, cool, I'm glad that feature's in. I don't really know where I stand on the whole weapon degradation thing.
Does Red Dead have weapon degradation?
It does, yes. But I don't think it's going to be like 5 hits like Zelda.
I just don't want it. I don't want everything to be realistic. It's a video game. It's meant to be stupid.
Yeah, and it just makes me like paranoid about using any weapons. Just because I don't want the good ones to degrade or whatever.
Oh, I don't know. Well, we'll wait and see with Red Dead. I don't want to jump in.
We'll see how it works in game. It could be the best weapon degradation you've ever seen.
Yeah, it's true.
The most fun weapon degradation in games.
Oh dear, what a strange old video game. I don't know where this has come from. Like, is it called Scum? That game where you have to like keep an eye on your metabolism and stuff. I mean, screw that. I'd rather die. Going on to more not relevant, but newer games that have come out. FIFA 19 came out last week. Already the biggest game of 2018, because of course it is. It always is. I played a little bit. I've only played a few games. I've mucked around with time shooting, which everyone told me was like the worst thing ever. I think it's fine. I think you can completely ignore it should you want. It's like Gears' active reload. I mean, it's like you can basically, if you don't know, time shooting is if you sort of tap the button at a specific time just before he hits the ball, or the player you're using hits the ball. If you time it right, your shot will be better, for lack of a better term. And if you don't, it's probably going to careening over the bar. Or you can just ignore that entirely and just do a normal shot. So I don't know why everyone was getting so up in arms about that. Otherwise, it feels like, I don't want to be too harsh. I do like it, but maybe sort of less of an update than maybe some people are expecting. It feels like the career mode is deliberately been untouched because it's a 2-year project. So next year they'll hit that harder. Otherwise, it plays different games of football. The presentation is nice. It just feels like FIFA. It just is FIFA. It's just more FIFA.
Yeah, I think, I've got several strong opinions, I guess, already. And, like, I think it feels more arcadey now. I've seen more overhead kicks in my entire time in FIFA 19 than in the year I owned FIFA 18. And that's been, like, days. And it feels all very much more like high-paced, blood-pumping sort of thing. And I'm not sure whether it's benefit or disadvantage. I don't really know either way, but I've had a lot more exciting matches, which can only be a good thing, really. Pro clubs are still broken, but it always is. So it's not like I'm not crying about that. I don't see the need to change. Like for a ground shot, you need to hold L1, R1, and then shoot. And that's a bit too much, maybe, for me. But obviously, with the double tap thing, they needed to take that off of that. But yeah, I've only played it for a short amount of time, but it feels like additions have been made that aren't that meaningful in terms of the kickoff modes and, you know, the time shooting and everything. So it feels like you just sort of got FIFA 18 and tweaked some things rather than making a full-on sequel, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So I sort of agree with you. I don't think it's a downgrade as such. And with the FIFA Ultimate Team odds on there, everyone's kicking off about that too. But I don't play Ultimate Team, so I don't care.
No, what was their big thing about Ultimate Team? I had this, hang on, let me get my notes up. I wrote this down earlier. I mean, I don't play Ultimate Team. So
well, they show the odds now.
That's right. And they were saying, like, something about their best cards and...
yeah, because in gold packs, they tell you that to get a player, the best players are like less than 1%, but they don't specify what percent it could be, which is interesting because it could be 0.01%. Or it could be 1%.
Right, so they're just annoyed that they're not getting the players they weren't getting anyway.
No, I mean, like I think it's more like it's instead of having a hunch that it was rigged against you, you now know in plain terms how unlikely you are to get the players you want.
That is ridiculous. You should have known that anyway. Also, the reason that, you know, the whole point, the whole reason we're in this mess is to begin with is because the amount of money people pumped into FIFA Ultimate Team. You know, yeah. that was why it became so popular, and they did this. But I mean, they probably have to do that to get around all these gambling problems that may be coming out. So, yeah. You know, if you actually tell people, okay, this is the actual percentage, you then, you know, EA basically protecting themselves there.
Yeah.
So
I just think it's like you say, speak with your wallets. If you don't like the odds, just don't. People aren't like, if EA don't get more money from Ultimate Team, they'll change their act. But people keep piling millions into it, so why would they change? You know what I mean? Like, everyone who's putting money into it is enabling them. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't play Ultimate Team as, you know, like you. That's not my thing at all. I dipped my toe into it once. I was like, no, I don't care. I just want to play a game of football. And I think in that sense, I think FIFA plays a decent game of football. I do think having all the licenses helps massively because I played a little Pro Evo this year, and it felt so abstract. I was like, I don't want to play it. I didn't realize how much that stuff was important to me, but it is. And I think they do a decent enough job of making me feel like I am doing that, to the point that I agree with that. I don't think it feels like a huge step forward like a lot of people thought this one was, but I now starting to think that's next year's one. And I think career mode's going through a big overhaul too. But I won't lie, like, new teams, new updates, a few new things for me to muck around with. Management modes there, that's what I play. It will take me through an entire season. I'll play co-op mode as well. I enjoy that. I mostly bought it because all my friends have bought it, and I want to play it with them every now and then. That's it. That's what FIFA is these days, and I pay 50 quid for the premium to do so.
Yeah. Yeah, I just play online, really, so it's just nice to have that update every year, because obviously you can't get the updated squads if you don't.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think it... I mean, I actually haven't looked at any reviews. I don't know how well it scored, but... It's just it's a yearly updated soccer game. There's only so much that we can expect from it these days. I'm not saying that we should. I'm not saying that we should let EA get away with it if they certainly do something we feel is less than ideal. But I don't think that is this game. I think this is a stopgap with enough updates to justify it before. Like, it was just career mode for me. Career mode just screamed, yeah, we can't do anything this year because our whole career team is working on it for next year.
Yeah.
So, but that's fine. Again, I don't mind it. FIFA is just FIFA it is. I think you either buy FIFA or you don't. You could throw the same kind of accusations at something like Call of Duty, which is a bit different because obviously that has multiple teams working on it. I mean, look, I'll segue into it now. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, right? I mean, like I said, I'm going to live stream it properly once all my live streaming gear gets here. It's a whole thing. If you're a patron, you know I'm not going to talk about it now. But from what I've experienced, sort of my brief time playing it, and from what everybody has said to me, it just sounds like an Assassin's Creed game. I know a lot of people like it, and a lot of people think it looks amazing. But from what I've read, and I understand reading is not the same as playing, so you know, I'm trying to be as transparent here as possible. But this doesn't certainly sound like any kind of huge departure from Origins last year, which I was told this was. But I haven't read anything that kind of, you know, states that. And before anyone goes, well, that's not fair. Well, what's the difference between someone not buying a game because they read a review. That's all. From that point of view, I'm just saying the information that has leaked its way to me, it doesn't sound like any kind of renovation.
No, it doesn't. It's not really caught my interest at all. Origins did because it was such a dramatic departure. But as I've said before, it just seemed like, this is coming along a year after Origins. It just seems like, okay.
Well, it's just gone back to the old Assassin's Creed format, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it just... Also, I've seen no assassins. Strange. It all seems to be Greek warriors. And I'm like, well, this looks good, but it just doesn't really look Assassin's Creed to me.
I honestly, from your vantage point at the moment, what is the appeal of Odyssey? Like, what is the reason to buy? Apart from you like Assassin's Creed, but what is? I don't know what it is.
From my perspective, I think the whole push has been like more RPG, like dialogue choices. It's less just an action open world game, and more of a like meaningful RPG experience, like building on what was there in Origins that people liked. So I think that's what they've made out as the sort of core pillars. But yeah, and also a lot of sailing. People seem to like that from Black Flag. I didn't play Black Flag, but people seem to love the sailing.
It's just everything I read just makes it sound like this huge game with nothing to do in it again. That's just what it screams to me. I don't want to go through that. I don't know. Assassin's Creed is like the biggest AAA game that has passed me by massively. I really don't understand what the appeal is. And this one, aside from the setting, which I do like all that Greek mythology stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not the person to talk about it, I guess. I mean, I am I am gonna stream it just because I'm not saying I want to be that guy, but I just want to make sure that I'm not off on this because I know I'm not. But yeah, I read the reviews now, like I'm reading one now. People say 9 out of 10, brilliant, looks amazing, yada yada yada. But I don't know. Everything I read is just that I don't want to play this. It's just I don't. Again, we just talked about FIFA and kind of incremental updates. I think you can get away with that more in sports games, and maybe this is hypocritical to a point. But I just think in this kind of open world thing, if it feels exactly the same, why on earth do I want to go back in? That's what I don't get.
Yeah, and it sounds harsh, but if I'm going to be committing 50 hours into an RPG-like experience, it's not going to be Assassin's Creed for me. Like, I've got plenty of other choices where I like actual RPGs, whereas Assassin's Creed feels like it's a non-RPG series with RPG elements bolted on now. Yeah,
exactly. It hasn't been sort of built with it in mind. It's just we need to attach something to it, so let's do that.
Yeah, that's what it appears like to me as well. That's the reason I didn't play Origins to completion. I played it, but just not to completion because I didn't want to put 50 hours into this world because I just didn't find it interesting. 50 plus hours.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I say, I just did a quick another look as well. You're right. It does just sound like the RPG thing is the big thing. But if that wasn't the idea, it just sounds like a real time sink to me. It really, really, really does. But hey, look, it's out. Like I say, I'll be doing it on my channel, youtube.com/Middleport Rules. I don't know when. I'm waiting for equipment to get to me, and there's just a whole bunch of nonsense with it. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it anyway. But it won't be my game. I can tell you that now. We'll talk about all the other stuff. I was going to talk about that. We'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about the big thing, the news that's going around the houses today. There's just an update as Sam and I were talking. You may have seen the leaked footage of Harry Potter video game, which is like an open world RPG, much like Assassin's Creed as we were talking. Now, if we had talked about this 20 minutes ago, I knew this wasn't the case. Well, this was my gut anyway. I was like, that doesn't sound logical to me. Everybody, and you should go watch it as well. Like, it's pretty cool if you like Harry Potter. I personally, not my thing, but everyone was saying, it's a Rocksteady game, yada, 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 because obviously the Warner Brothers connection, it looks a bit like Rocksteady. New rumours have come out through Eurogamer, through some sources they have. It is not Rocksteady, which doesn't surprise me at all. I don't see how Rocksteady could come out after the Batman games and go, we're making Harry Potter without everybody kicking off. I would be one of these people.
Yeah, could you imagine? Yeah, we made Batman, but now we're making Harry Potter.
Yeah, and I get it, right? People go, but it's a big franchise. What's the difference? It is a big franchise, but it's not aimed at the same audience.
No.
Because I am that audience. I am the Rocksteady audience. Like, I will defend them to the hilt. I'm a biased moron when it comes to Rocksteady games. If they released a Harry Potter game, I would have done a video going, fuck you, Rocksteady. I mean, it would have been a joke video, because I don't really care. But my sort of bad side of me, the negative version of me, would have been like, this is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. So, however, it doesn't look like it's that. It does sound like it's Avalanche Software, not the people that are making Just Cause, which is Avalanche Studios. Avalanche Software are the people that made Disney Infinity back in 2016. They were closed, and guess who bought them? That's right, Warner Brothers Interactive. And also, Disney Infinity was a kids game, as good and as cool as the Harry Potter games look, you'd have to be insane to take on a Harry Potter franchise and not try and make it for kids, because what on earth are you doing? And yeah, someone called Vape This Bro on their YouTube page or on Reddit or wherever it was, he leaked the video saying it was some sort of market research, and a lot of people were saying it's not real, it's a fake. It was just no way it's a fake. It looked too good. Like it looked too good. Like it's a really, really, really well. Actually, I don't think you can watch it now because I think Warner Brothers has taken it down. But I'm sure someone's done a mirror somewhere. So if you really want to see it, you can. But it looked good, right? It looked good. It
looks like an RPG with Harry Potter. Yeah,
it did. I mean, I'll just read you kind of the cliff notes that came out from it in case you're interested and you can't find it. I mean, Sam, did you watch or listen to Harry Potter? Sam, do you know anything about it? I know nothing.
I know sort of the rough strokes. It's a guy with glasses who does magic.
Okay, right. So I think a lot of this will be lost on you as well. But set in the 19th century wizarding world, this third-person open-world action RPG game centers around your character with unique abilities who has earned a late acceptance to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. You are a newly arrived fifth-year student to Hogwarts that demonstrates a talent for magic with the unique ability to track and identify remnants of a potent ancient power. So it's just a video game. There's 8 different wizarding types. You can experience Hogwarts, make new friends, uncover secrets, change the fate of the wizarding world, experience a magic system that creates countless possibilities to master magic, and it's open world, which I imagine would be the real key here. That I know we talked about Zelda a minute ago and Assassin's Creed, but I think the best thing about good or well-realized licensed open world is that you can actually feel like something has come to life that you've never experienced before. It's like Gotham, right? Completely get it. You choose your house and friends. You can go good or bad, obviously, it's 2018, and you create your own witch or wizard, and you experience an all-new story separate from the books or films, and they would have done that because it's too hard to get voice actors in to do the characters. Basically. Now, look, I don't get Harry Potter. I'm not going to say as far as I say I don't like Harry Potter. I don't have enough of an opinion. I haven't seen enough to have an opinion. But even from my poorly educated mind, I could understand why someone like Harry Potter would be excited about this. It did look very high-end. It looked like something the franchise has been missing for a while, especially because the other games have been rubbish. And it certainly made a dent. People were very excited about it. And it certainly doesn't seem like a leak now. I mean, given that Warner Brothers claimed the footage and that Eurogamer have these sources, it sounds like it's legit.
Yeah, I wouldn't say all Harry Potter games have been trash. The ones on PS1 are pretty good. But yeah, it's just I'm interested in where they're going to position this tonally. Like you say, it's the target audience for Harry Potter is, not to cast broad strokes, it is kids, and it is often, like the non-video gaming girl community, really. Like you had that whole Primark section full of all kinds of unholy Harry Potter products. But I don't know a lot of people who, well, it's not Rocksteady, but you know what I mean? Like, playing Batman or playing RPGs. Like, all these Witcher fans and all these RPG fans and all these open world fans, would they be like, oh, yeah, I'd like to do one in Harry Potter? I don't think a lot of them would. But it's interesting because you don't obviously have to know, because even if you're not a Harry Potter fan, it might be a good game inherently because it's got spells and it's in that universe, which is obviously a very well-crafted universe. So I'm just interested to see where they're going to position it with that sort of childish tone that the films had, and just sort of see what they do with it. I hope they don't make it too, because a lot of games are just like, yeah, really broody heroes, and just like I don't think that would work with Harry Potter, to be honest. But it's a good world, and there's a reason it's so popular. So if they can do it right, there's no reason this could be great.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. And again, I think you hit the nail on the head there, or at least hinted at it. I think that if they want to Batman this, you've got to make a video game that doesn't just appeal to Harry Potter fans. You've certainly got to come up with something that people just, that are kind of half interested will play anyway, just because it looks cool.
Yeah.
And to be fair, from that trailer, that potentially could be the case. I mean, I wouldn't expect it anytime soon, given that kind of, that felt like a launch, not a launch, like a reveal trailer to me. So we're probably sort of end of next year, something like that. But look, people got excited about it. It looks like a proper open world RPG in the Harry Potter franchise. It's going to print money. Now it certainly seems like it's real. I imagine Warner Brothers will have to talk sooner than they probably wanted, or they should wait until the next couple of months are out of the way, because it will get lost in the shuffle as Red Dead comes and eats it alive. Talking about Red Dead Redemption as well, they released another gameplay video. This one was called literally Official Gameplay Video Part 2. That came out yesterday as we're talking. It looked at Deadeye. heist first-person mode, and basically some other stuff you can do in the game. I mean, I don't know whether you've seen it, Sam. It's one of these sort of classic Rockstar videos where someone narrates over the top and tells you, why you're a schmo for not being excited about this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not interested in the game, so I didn't bother looking.
It makes sense. It makes sense. But I mean, as me, someone that is excited about the game, I mean, if you want to watch it, Sam, just do it for how good it looks. Like, it's one of these times where you just go, how have Rockstar done this? Like, what kind of drugs do they have to make these video games look just... I mean, obviously, you need to play it yourself to get a real feel for it. But I don't think Rockstar really in the past have ever been... I don't think anyone's ever watched a Rockstar trailer and then played the game and gone, well, that wasn't representative of the game. Well, I've certainly never thought that anyway. No. And it just looks... It looks ridiculous. Like, just it's small things like the amount of fog or, rain coming down or steam coming out of a train or an explosion. It's just, I don't know, man.
You wonder how it's possible. Sometimes when you just look at games, you're just like, oh my God. I had that when Uncharted 4.
Yeah. And yet they just smash it out. As I mentioned, there was one part as well, actually. I just saw it again because I got the trailer running in the background. There's one part when he's on a wagon and they're going through this forest and sort of the sky is breaking through. My word, it's just like, that is disgusting. It's just so good.
On a side note, like, people underestimate how good lighting can make a game look.
Oh, I totally agree.
Is super crucial.
No, I think that and water effects as well. Like, it's as strange as that sound. It's those small things that somehow make me really excited about a game. But lighting especially, because you're right, it gives that extra flair to a video game.
Yeah, and like Resident Evil 2 when that came out at E3, and it's just like, oh, that looks so good.
Yeah, and it provides loads of atmosphere as well and ambience. And I think that's kind of important when I don't know, it just is. There's just something magic about it. There's something special. But yeah, I mean, if you're excited about Red Dead, I'd absolutely go and check out that trailer. Like, I do worry about how intense it's going to be because I know. But then again, of all the video game developers I know, if anyone's going to go down this track of making it like that, I think Rockstar's probably the people that are going to come up with it the best because they are sort of the kings and queens of taking video games that are not only proper in depth and appeal to gamers, quote unquote, but also are accessible and people just want to play them as well. So
yeah, just because it's the king of sandboxes, right?
Yeah.
So whether you want to race or whether you want to just go around and shoot people or whether you just want to just see the world, you can do everything. Yeah. And that's why GTA 5 has sort of persisted for 5 years and is still in the top 10 everywhere.
I mean, it's just, is that the best-selling game ever, GTA 5?
Best-selling piece of media ever.
Is it really?
Yeah, I mean, it's outsold Michael Jackson's Thriller, it's outsold DVDs, outsold albums, outsold everything. So.
That's obscene. I mean, I know they were very smart with it in the sense of releasing the PS, PS4 and Xbox One versions, but still, that is, my word, what a crazy, ridiculous world we live in.
Yeah.
Microsoft also came out and said that it's not even a thing, any plans to do Minecraft 2, which a lot of people, it was nothing huge, but I saw a few people sort of raise an eyebrow, which I thought was nuts, because Minecraft is still a phenomenon. People may have forgotten about it as the likes of PUBG and Fortnite have come and sort of taken its throne for a certain degree, but it's still making money out the wazoo. Like, we don't have to worry about Minecraft or anything like that. I don't see why Microsoft would put... I mean, what would you even do? How would you do with Minecraft too? The whole point of Minecraft is like the ultimate sandbox in many ways. You just make whatever the hell you want. And that is the whole point of Minecraft. So I was kind of surprised that was even a story. It was even asked. I think Microsoft's got far more bigger problems to worry about, especially when it comes to the likes of... what the Xbox One is actually going to release before the PlayStation 4 continues to run away with everything.
Yeah, I don't know why anyone is surprised, because like it is as much. I don't even know when Minecraft was officially released because it's been around for a while anyway. But like it's adapted with the times. Like, it's got that 4K Xbox One X nonsense. So it's gone from where it was and then it's adapted with the times, and it is a modern game now. But the core pillars just was a quintessential sandbox survival experience. And then what would you do with the sequel? Like you say, like just make the blocks blockier, or you'd either overcomplicate it or change it in a way that doesn't need to be changed. And I think we're in an era where games don't need to have sequels. Like if you look at Rainbow Six Siege, that's just going to keep adding content into it because there's no reason to make a sequel, because all you can do is just add maps to this already popular shooter, and then Mojang, you just add features to this already popular sandbox. And you don't need to redevelop everything, you just need to add it and make it more and more and more substantial. And like you say, as long as it keeps making money, then that's the point. And I can't imagine people are going to Minecraft and like that's got to be on the chart surely somewhere, so every week. So it's got to be doing really good.
I imagine if you look at sort of Microsoft revenues and financials, I'm sure Minecraft is making them a fortune, to say the least.
And the great bit about it is because it's so multiplayer focused, I bet loads of people, including myself, have bought it on 2, 3, 4 platforms as well. Because when you get an Xbox 360 and you play with your friends, and then you get an Xbox One, you get Minecraft again.
Yeah.
Or if you've got friends on PS4, you get it again. And yeah, it's sort of like the gold mine of, obviously, kids as well. Kids. If you appeal to kids, then
you're halfway there. Exactly. Like my mates' kids, I know I've got it on the PS4 and on mobile and on PC because they want to be able to play it whenever they can if they're doing something else. So yeah, I don't need to worry about it. Also, we just missed this when we did the last one last week. But yeah, PlayStation came out, Sony came out and said, you know what, fine, you've been moaning enough. We are going to do PS4 crossplay for Fortnite. So now, if you are playing on Fortnite, you can, play. It doesn't matter. It's crossplay. So I don't know 100% how it works. I think there's specific lobbies. I think that's right. You have to go into the crossplay lobby. Is that right?
I have no idea.
I think it's something like that. But yeah, essentially now, whether you're playing on Switch or Xbox One or PlayStation 4, and you enter the world of Fortnite, you don't necessarily know who you're playing against, which made me laugh straight away. Because if you're someone that likes to play Fortnite on your Nintendo Switch controller, you've already lost. There's no way that thing is as good as a PS4 in terms of a not first-person shooter, but a shooter. The thing that really interested me was the timing of all of this. Off the record, not for the term now, I'm not going to tell you the person that told me this. A long time ago, long time ago, I was still in Croydon at the time. So we're talking 2 years. Had mentioned to me that the plan for Red Dead Redemption 2 was to have some form of Xbox One and PlayStation 4, not like a partnership, but there being the barriers, no boundaries. And it was just a rumor at the time. Like it wasn't said that I know this for sure. It was just something he'd heard through birdies and all that kind of nonsense. And I kind of think, well, maybe if anyone's going to do it, it's Rockstar. I think there is no coincidence this has happened, but a matter of 2 weeks or whatever before Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's any way that Sony could have come out and said, "Yep, we're doing it for Red Dead Redemption 2," but not anything else. That would have just caused such a backlash in the community because we know what that kind of thing is like. So yeah. I think that absolutely all ties in. And I think it's got to the point now where, why the hell not? I don't think it's going to affect sales. I don't think you're going to buy Red Dead Redemption 2 on Xbox One or PS4 or not do that just because it's got crossplay in it. I think that makes no difference whatsoever. I think people have their chosen consoles of choice. And like I say, I bought FIFA on Xbox One because most of my mates are playing FIFA on Xbox One. It doesn't matter if they introduce crossplay to that. It's not a thing to me. I guess, look, for me personally, I don't even care. I wouldn't care. They all got to shut each other off from everybody else. Like, nope. But people like that. So I would imagine this builds to an announcement about that soon. Obviously, the Red Dead Online beta starts in November. I imagine they'll talk about that beforehand. But yeah, I wasn't massively surprised that they came out and did this. And given that it got announced a week ago, it's kind of died off a lot. I don't think I've heard much else.
Yeah, no, it just seems like, it just sort of came out of nowhere. Like, yeah, we're doing crossplay, and everyone's like, oh, okay, cool, great.
Yeah. It was almost like, I don't know who. It was almost like it was the vocal minority shouting for this, and then they got it, and it was like, okay, has it changed anybody's experience on Fortnite? I mean, maybe it has, right? Like I play Fortnite, but not in the way that sort of the super happy people play Fortnite. But it doesn't. I don't know. Nothing seems to have changed to me, so I don't understand why this is considered such a big moment.
No, I mean, good news, I think, is that they've changed Fortnite itself, so you get mouse and keyboard players in lobbies with other mouse and keyboard players.
Yeah.
Because I play with a mouse and keyboard player, and, I get why they'd want to put them all together, because I don't think it's totally fair. Or not fair, You'd rather have controller people with controllers and mouse and keyboard with mouse and keyboard, which is great. And the more people, like when you have all the crossplay community together, that makes it easier to split and stuff. So yeah, I'm like, it's one of those news pieces of crossplay where you're just like, good, and that's it really. There's not much else to say. Like, oh, okay, you got crossplay.
It really doesn't affect this play at all. And I thought Sony's reasons for the delay of this, it being a technical thing and there may be blips, was absolute nonsense. Like, it's just going online. If your online system is fine, I don't understand what problems you can have. Like, I don't make games, so that's fair enough. But that just seemed crazy to me. I was like,
it does seem wildly unbelievable that Microsoft and Nintendo, they're all allowed to do this. But you're telling me that Sony, of all people, were not able to make it work.
I know. Like that's just yeah. It just seems like they didn't want to do it, and they realised that they were fighting a losing battle, so that we better do it. So yeah, I don't know. I think the whole thing was crazy, but it's done now. So if you were clambering for that, you now have the keys to the castle. There's no going back, and you can throw yourself into it. In terms of games coming out this week as well, Forza Horizon obviously comes out today officially.
Yeah,
and I think the best headline for that is it's the driving game for people that don't like driving games, and it's the driving game for people that like driving games.
Yeah, I mean, I've played a little bit of it. It seems pretty good, but it's not something I'm going to be clambering towards. I'll get it because I've got Game Pass, but nothing major for me.
Yeah, I think it's I don't know. I do have it. I do want to play it more. I was kind of hoping it was going to do what PGR did for me back in the day, because I was never a big racing fan. I liked them, but PGR 3, especially Xbox 360, I don't know, it just had something magic about it that made me want to play. Like it just pulled me in. I haven't played it enough yet, but Forza Horizon 4 hasn't done that for me yet. But it is a wonderful game to look at. Like the amount of money that's gone into it is absolutely insane, and I still do think that it sits in sort of like a position all of its own. It kind of straddles between what Forza and Gran Turismo are doing. And again, there is nothing on the other side anymore. Need for Speed, I said this last week, but Need for Speed's vanished into dust. Games like Split Second and Blur are long dead. What was that game that came out early in the year by Codemasters that died on its arse?
I was going to say Wipeout. Onrush.
Onrush. I mean, I liked Onrush. I thought it was decent, but again, didn't make any kind of a splash. So I think Forza Horizon 4 has been smart with its marketing. But yeah, I wanted it to be one of those games that just sort of won me over. As of yet, it hasn't, but it does look very nice. But yeah, that's out today, should you want to go play that. Obviously, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which we talked about, out October 5th. Super Mario Party for Switch is out October 5th. Now, yep. I don't think it's a massive surprise, but I thought there'd be a bit more buzz about it. Not a bit more buzz, but I thought Nintendo would be shouting about it a little bit more. Again, it could just be that I'm not looking in the right areas. But, Mario Party to me, especially when it's on a brand new console, I always thought would, have an element of, we should make this feel like a big deal, much like they do with Mario and Zelda and Mario Kart and so on and so forth. Because it is a co-op multiplayer game, which is Nintendo's MO, really. So I thought that was interesting. But yeah, I mean, I don't even know anything about it. I don't know if it's good, I don't know if it's bad, I haven't seen any reviews. I don't know whether you've seen anything.
No, it looks good. I think it's one of those games where, since Smash Brothers Ultimate is out, it's one of those games that Mario Party fans will know about it, and it'll probably be one of those games that gets a big push at Christmas because it's a multiplayer angle. But I don't think they need to make a big song and dance of it, because it's like one of those things where everyone knows Mario Party. It's like, it's going to be more Mario Party. If you want it, cool. But yeah, it's weird because I've not seen any adverts for it or anything.
No.
Like, oh yeah, that's coming out.
That's it. I mean, I've just looked it up now quickly. I mean, the only quote I can find is Super Mario Party is a non-boring board game. So that's taking a shot at people that like board games.
Isn't that just Mario Party as it's always been?
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, some Mario Parties have been terrible, though. I mean, some of them have just been absolutely abominations to mankind. But yeah, I mean, that comes out on Friday as well. Then obviously, as we move into next week, we've got WWE 2K19, which, yes, I will be playing a few days after that, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, which I'm also going to play.
Is that next week?
It's out next October the 12th,
oh,
yeah.
My Lord, what has happened?
Got to run away from Red Dead, man. Everybody's got to run away from Red Dead, but you still got to come out in that beautiful Q4 window. So yeah, that literally comes out. I mean, the 12th is week Friday. What's
That's
the
crazy.
Blacklist is the reason I'm getting it. It's gonna Blackout. Sorry, my whole opinion on Black Ops 4 is all going to depend on what I think of Blackout. I'm still hoping it's going to be the Battle Royale mode that, it doesn't make me want to kill myself.
To end all Battle Royale modes.
Well, that's what I'd like, but we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see. I still think it will do well. A lot of people have been saying it's not tracking as well as all other Call of Duties, but everyone always says that. Then it comes out and sells a bajillion copies. And I'm like, oh yeah, right, okay. So
yeah, and even if it sells less than most Call of Duty games, it sells a lot.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And just running through the rest of October as well, in case you're interested. Lego DC Supervillains also comes out a couple of weeks. Warriors Orochi 4. I mean, some people like those games, not my personally thing. Then we roll into Dark Souls Remastered on October 19th. I absolutely will be doing stuff with that. Soul Calibur 6 comes out the same day as well. That seems to have come from nowhere. I mean, there seems to be no buzz about that either, given how big Soul Calibur games used to be back in the day. And then, of course, we finish off the month with Red Dead Redemption 2. And then, I mean, there's some other stuff coming out. Obviously, Fallout 76 in November. But to me, the gaming calendar has a big shift on October 26th. And we'll see how everybody deals with that. But that's pretty much it. That's it, the week of gaming. Sam, was there anything else you want to touch on? Anything else you've been playing?
Nice. It's had a lot to talk about. It's just sort of whizzed by.
Yeah, no, it really, really has. And like I said, the big thing, I mean, I'm sure you can find the Harry Potter trailer should you wish and go and see that. So, let us know your thoughts. Maybe if you're a big Harry Potter fan, you can get in touch and say, is it good? Is it bad? Obviously, Sam and I aren't the...
We're not the authority.
We're not the authority on it. And I will keep playing more FIFA as well. So I think I have more to say about that next week too. But yeah, it's at least at the moment, things are ramping back up again. I think that's the best thing about the end of the year. Everything just feels fun and exciting. And again, the amount of games that we can talk about. Assassin's Creed's out, FIFA came out, Forza's out. Like these are big video games that have proper fan bases. And obviously next week, WWE, Call of Duty, and so on. I'm not going to go through all of them again. But I still think we could balance these a bit better, but whatever.
Yeah, I've chosen the worst time to get back into two very big RPGs.
I mean, getting into Zelda 2 years in October is it's a very interesting time. But hey, man, that's what it's all about. It's your choice. You do whatever you want. I mean, technically, I'm not playing anything at the moment. The thing that really does make me laugh, and I haven't seen how well it's been doing. Spider-Man feels like it's come and gone. That's the only problem with video games nowadays. They come out and then it feels. I know people are still playing it. I know that Insomniac have got they've got these huge. DLCs planned for it. I know people are going to love it, but yeah, it doesn't feel like how it used to feel.
It seems like it was a roller coaster into the public eye and then out of the public eye.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot. That's not that game. That's all games these days.
Yeah.
Nothing seems to hang around anymore. And I know there's still huge communities there. Like at Fortnite. I mean, Fortnite gets in the news more than anything, just because people like to. Oh, it's killing kids and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, Red Dead will probably do it. Red Dead will probably have a longer tail, but that's mostly because Rockstar kind of planned for that to be the way. But other than that, yeah, it comes and goes very quickly these days, which I guess it makes no difference to me, but I just remember when a video game would come out and the conversation would roll on for a lot longer. Maybe it's because of social media and stuff like this, where you do have to jump on what's ever next. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's where we're at. Again, get in touch, let us know what you're playing, all that kind of stuff. It also made me laugh that I saw the Witcher, our CD Projekt Red for more money. And they went, nope.
Yeah.
That made me, I loved that. It's more successful than I thought. Well, you've already signed off on this, dude, so we're not going to talk to you anymore. Love it. Good old video games. And, oh yeah, one other thing. It seems like there's going to be a big lawsuit to do with all the Telltale stuff that went down last week. So keep an eye on that as well.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I've got. That is the week in gaming as far as I'm concerned. Thank you very much for listening. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at SimonMeadow316. Sam is on Twitter at Sam Bishop with 3 P's.
And this is the one at the end. I forgot that.
There's a 1 at the end as well. Right there you go. And there's a 1 at the end as well. So Sam Bishop, 3 P's, 1 1. But just a singular 1. No one's ever going to find you, Sam. Please do check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Miller Report Rules. We are going to do some live streaming soon. In the meantime, we'll finish Spider-Man, loads of Let's Plays, loads of stupid videos going up. Remember, everything you see on there is tongue-in-cheek. Please don't get annoyed. It's meant to be a joke. Supported by patreon.com/SimonMeadow316. You can head over there now. And if you're on iTunes, give us 5 stars. Go share it. Go do whatever you want. That's about it. Sam, as always, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.
And we'll be back next week to talk about more games. I mean, all the games next week as they keep on tumbling down. We have to get excited about Call of Duty and WWE. Absolute madness.